There was no interview, no advertisement for people to apply for the job. NPP did that. I don't know why people didn't complain, because we are presenting ourselves to want to correct the system. For those that were rushed into employment, simply because you lost the elections.
NPP for Agyapong. I know Canada, Japan. In the young cannon, it's yes about to Obama. Doctor,
NDC has been able to keep the dollar at a certain amount. So why don't you blame Baumia?
Oh, and for so bien, Shia Mamu Korba, a BM Emma Jumadia Francia, and Summer Ecoso or my Ganemu, Yelina, a bread I fana fino, yet Dihon Como His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, any NDC buying, all information be about Tuja. After set, none of them could Akuffo and not by who said, woman lusu electioner, woman employ a Jumai for quick one. Ebedu commander at Domsu corner, infobia frimu babiano, Yedinina Gufom Eddie Ama I have for NOT NPP Amayokono Enche, not presidential prime minister no, basso, and an so Ama Akuffo Sembebre Abba, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong Agyapong. And Dr. Mahmoud Baumia come no kwasam say and some free obanabusia sawani and some me and I'm a catcher quick one you be on so na fi no ye do nkomo balansa na no na toshi din sebia tuja afa Dr. Mahmoud Baumia hona abusia and send be to dwa no onomo Kennedy Agyapong Agyapong fans and afa NDC4 fans obia ni age quick one yenkonko tie sansem ne mra ne koba abusia na ebedi ho nkomo
na ya na me pese wo de kan ho say adena de bia common fund. That's not the only good thing NDC has done. Okay. NDC has been able to keep the dollar at a certain amount.
That's true.
So why don't you blame Baumia? I thought the president Akuffo said yesika na ye hata timakofa Baumia said won't be fix it. Did he fix it? Why are you not blaming finance minister Baumia and the governor? Because men cannot, in their chauvinistic spirits, cannot blame their own. When we were leaving government, it was 17. Whatever it is that NDC is doing, whether they are pumping money, they are not pumping money, we couldn't do it. They've done it. So you want to blame A, blame B. And I've just made the point categorically. I am just a tool.
Okay, Commander.
Yeah, the writer.
Na toshi.
Of course.
And sir, what do komo?
Sure.
Na enkomo ya chino. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong Agyapong fans.
Okay.
And afa Ghana fo bi mu say and someone na toshi dia tudwa no.
Okay.
Eye no kura trodo ba quick one. Iye nwran sem ni mu ai.
Wow, the writer. Mamina was in the first place. Na mincha hefo na fe. Ye nhase na eni komo.
But then na toshi MPP ni.
Of course.
But this time why sincere? Waka no kure.
No kure.
Ana hu ni sa.
The writer unim bibi. Na toshi nkoma wadi.
Yeah.
Ba kure ni ma eye ntro. No kure tro do. Se we MPP ni a e to da bia ma ye hu se wadwen eye adwuma.
Yeah.
Enye se wo party aba aban mu na niema nkoye ni ato abetia mu nti at all cost e was say o kan nsem bi just to favor your party.
In this case no ye be kan say na toshi e the NDC wo mu credit ama wo mu. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and an buy.
Okay.
Not to see NPP ni.
Of course.
But we are crediting His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Of course.
Any NDC are buying. When a Dr. Mahmoud Baumia for tia, almost say Honorable Kennedy, any NDC for na kabum.
Director unim bibi. No cre. A bedding contompo so de bia. And at the end of the day, if you want to go far, and no credit. Director not to see at this moment, wamanya adwemfo frobi e in the first place, madri ya me say, or ye part of MPP for now wo abamu because under another Akuffo do onya position. Entino o kan ho bi e na o mantima anya adwuma. But enei ne nkoma odi kyerɛ me sɛ ɔka no kre onyim de ye papa ene de enya papa ye 1PP before bi wɔ hɔ a ebesi nei dollar cost 70 cedis 1PP abere so ɔmo fight ya de ba 14 cedis 50 pesos ye ɔmo fra ban mu no MPP before bi wɔ hɔ ebesi ne ɔmo nyi ntumi sɛ NDC aye better than them in terms of cedi and dollar management but sɛ ɔka sɛ ɔbɛka no kre na ɔbɛfa NPP for bibia ne wɔ so mo ye magic bia no so mo conjure bia no omo conjure magic no but anya adwuma.
In this case no emfa say or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to form o se anu ntina na do ko fa ne bae but wantimi anya hwe
Director oni bibi enye so ordinate to form o kind of crack Ghana for me am bete hayi minim exchange rate no bia na da na enye obi na korura na nado anum na nado no na ka kire ye pefe say eye economic management nti e do ko fa owura Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de ne be kan na ho say o mepe no na nado se ka no kra onim anything about economy bibia fa o man sikasem na nado ne hunim de he is just a lawyer enti ohia obi a economically or very strong na on na combine it is a combo ne papa no make pa hye o man ye and o de Bawumia ba because as at that time NPP for the Ghana for nyina gitum say per lecture say Bawumia ye no is the best economist in Ghana it is a nei over na adwuma na anye ya na to shi question no e very simple yemfa blame no enkonko hye me commander amete ha ana say yemfa nko hye Dr. Papa Kwasindum say ono no man dollar cost 17 cities when yemfa blame ne ma no wa bra ye de sebi o man hye won sa say under MPP administration Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the head of economic management team and the on manage economy no economy na anye ya musima yemli mo no na sorry to say omaya ye womi but every single sector bia say obi ye adwuma na enkoyi a when e blame nya pani oda no and say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia da adwuma bia no na adwuma na enkoyi na to say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no say ye blame na wo say won tiase say wakokasa and your NDC na sponsor honorable candidate Agyapong and na to shi asem onyansa be ni
wo say Bawumia nkrofo no tia wo medwa pa
director minim say Bawumia nkrofo no bedwa but san no crank tinkiti we eno na de John Dramani Mahama back to power but say before say omo bedwa because it is against them omo ma power biem
no kra na o kan because MPP before yen nkrofo bia e wo say nka this time no de ekoso ewo aban yi mu niema papa ekoso no e wo so de omu president Dramani Mahama
of course
ye metwe what ase emena no so na wo say Ghana for return MPP to power Ghana for the MPP for beba but ase still na bia niema ekoyie na mu ataka se niema nkoyie mu twantwa ebre no so krase MPP for ma ye for mo ma because nim so mu twantwa
yes happy pepe
e chon tiase
na bia utwantro e be de ne waba nti said ye wokan so ahwe na to hia de na we ya na e de said the NDC year from 2017 the right from 2017 e be si 2019 na NDC for enye demonstration na omo nche da nye de bebrebe emfa nwu aban ni so because they felt like okay e wo mo say ye ja $3.80 NPP for the dollar no akwa do 6 cities 7 cities but at least so what economic growth apeja kakra omo the free education aba the right na NDC for no omo nye de sa but after 2021 enyema say kra no and this for who say okay at this time enyema MPP ye no we were better than them in the 5 year ya wa no de be kasa because ye adwuma ye no so ni chai wo mo de no but Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia MPP for the NDC for it is far better than the NPP 4 years in their last 4 years. When him say in the last 4 years, another 4 years, no. Say you cannot cry. Nke hu yasa na do bedi sa kwanya no. Last 4 years, no. Because last 4 years and another 2 years, no. Na dollar na nuru 8 cedis.
Oh yeah.
From 2021, no. In the last 4 years, and a dollar gene in them. Last 4 years, and a corruption cases also. Last 4 years, and a galamsey gene in them. Last 4 years, and a IMF Bosiania that they are quite young with the idea and you go to National Cathedral Hall and the campaign be 4 years no omuja 2020 year and o man nia konyan bi ma ye beka so mo ya de
na na to shi so
okay
almost time na niema nkoye no ama meka
okay
and na ye to abawie ya running mate kura wanya Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia amfa running mate ama
of course
awako na bo Kennedy camp na wo kika sansem we almost na to shi so amfa ne nsem nko ba bi
Director, obi obekasa bia no. In the first place, all right is all kasa. Nemum enye no kre.
Sir.
Director de enye no kre ni. Obi a sebi obetwa na mo bi no bedru ko se anamo ya matui. Emwa me mensan machi no. Oye nyansani. Oye bajima.
2024, 2023. Wo mo kwakoto aba no. Na to hia no onabo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia camp.
Okay.
Did that time no wan hu say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ntimi manage economy na obeka.
Director,
But this time out, what could you Honorable Kennedy Achino okika chance mu?
Director, I agree, say. As at that time, not to share money home.
Yeah.
Because not only money that sorry. Nti ebia the personal interest, the obenya di position a onyaye, any nyama kakra binti. But the point I'm making here is say, why is I mistaken? After doing that mistake, we realize this mistake. And why NDC is doing better. NDC abaso. I encourage you to do more. But ebimus di almost say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Sebi. Say or the dollar, ever 100 cities in Bois, the one with him, compared the two, the writer. I told her be a young affair. Only in a couple of deep bonnet, only deep bonnet, you know, a drew a stage, but what Nyansa say, morning idea, and yet, by coming home, but what you say, met me, Marco, and your pet.
Okay. Commander, yentu mikamfi na enkotie Rashid Pepo.
Okay.
Na Rashid adim komo wo se na na dodan Akuffo ado beko no.
Yeah.
Na ye hu se na na do fa nkrofo bi kura odwen wa won tiase.
Of course.
NDC fo adim komo yenkotie mra ye koba ensem wachi.
You came to meet some people who had jobs. You decided to let them go. And that has added up to the unemployment numbers. You said that you were going to investigate them. We have not heard anything. We want to know what has happened to the affected persons who were sacked from their jobs.
Now, this is what happened.
Okay.
In many of the situations, there was no interview. There was no advertisement for people to apply for the job. They just called people and gave them letters. Within a space of time when they knew they lost the elections, 12,000 people were employed when they knew they lost the elections and were exiting the government. And so they rushed to give people appointments which had no basis at all. So you realize that those are not employment. You can't accuse a government for saying, no, these are not people who have been properly employed. So that's what happened. But after we checked and realized that some of them had a case, they called some of them back. And it is not our preoccupation to deprive people of jobs if they are properly employed. NPP did that. I don't know why people didn't complain. And are now finding it necessary to complain, but because we are presenting ourselves to want to correct the system. So we are not going to continue to do that. But for those that were rushed into employment, simply because you lost the elections, we can't, it wasn't possible for some of the departments to keep them.
So does it boil down to the processes not being followed or the competence of these people, really? Even if they were last-minute recruitments and they're good enough, why do you let them go? Is it the processes or the competence?
Both. No, the process was faulty. Now, if you go and steal...
And they are competent?
If you go and steal, and you know that, look, this money I have is good money. I can use it to build a hotel. I can use it to do this. People will say, oh, then leave them, because the money that has been stolen can be used to do good things, so leave it. Are you sacrificing for, are you taking into consideration the laws you have put in place? Will the law be excused? Would violating the law be excused when a wrong thing is done? And you say once the wrong thing is done, it's earning a good purpose, so we allow it to go. No, I don't think things work that way.
But Doc, why didn't you investigate to find those who are actually competent for the job and keep them?
There is not one person who is competent in Ghana. Advertise it. You may see somebody else who is more competent than the other. That's why it's important that you level the grounds for everybody.
Are you suggesting that all the people that were recruited were not competent for the job?
Which people?
Those that you sacked.
Those that were withdrawn from their jobs. They were not sacked because they were found not to be not properly engaged.
Okay, so all of the people...
And let me even tell you, they didn't need them in the departments, in the agencies. The reason being that, look, pick Ghana Gas, for example. Let me know, not take Ghana Gas. we have a lot of places, because I don't want to be mentioning some of them.
Okay.
A lot of places where you open an office, you pick people. We saw a company where a department where at the time we were leaving office, there were only 7 people in one department. The 7 people had tables, a table and a chair, and they all went in. When they all went into the office, they sat down to work. At the end of the period, this period that has just passed, there were 47. They didn't have chairs to sit. They'll come to the office, sign and leave, and they were all earning. So the number had increased from that 7 to 47. We didn't sack the people, but we don't know what to do with them. You go to another department where somebody said he was looking for a job, and then I called the MD to discuss when he's going to advertise and all that. He said, Honorable, I don't even think we are going to advertise anything. After paying my workers, I still need 8 million Ghana cedis to pay extra labor that I didn't need. And that's what he told me. And it's happening everywhere. Let's not encourage this thing to be in this country. You know, you came into office, say you are going to create jobs for everybody. You will improve private sector, and then they will create jobs. And then you rely on over-employing people in our various agencies, brought them down to the point that many of them are non-functional now. They are unable to pay their workers. They can't even produce anything, even though the numbers are so huge and all that. So we have so many questions to ask in this matter.
And say, Nana don't cook Akuffo and na buying.
Yeah.
Ebi musi wo mu di bone.
Okay.
And say, one say one lose election.
Sure.
Now funny pa mako 12,000. Argentina wo yesa, wo disa bone no. Ada na won twan ma de wo win election no. Emra me funny pa. Ba quick one yenwura mu.
Well, director, in some way, mete na mechem tu.
Oh,
because utie nkomo na portion of nkomo no nipa na oye interview no na o base on employees no omo ye fa o madwuma no and other side eye employer na eye government no into with the government there no director said you obisa me aden na watwen amaya to abadwie na offer nipa 12,000 wabra amfa due process
na yesi bi kwa no na o qualification wo for mo so still na na promote wo mo
director wonim de ma aban no ho ye yeah I support it eya na say obi tifie na kom de no na wanya adwuma na yesi onsen kwatena fie but then tia me support ni say director ya equal opportunity ye nyina ye Ghana fo ye nyina so ye adwuma ye enti say adwuma bi wo ba bia yenya announcement na ye nyina no ye apply ye ko interview de o qualify no ye mfa wo no enti me ma say opportunity ni wo ho ebi me wo access to politicians not just within a night ya push o makosha baabi na wo mo maka o mtefia o nim politician bia no o mo de komuni o mo it doesn't work anywhere na bi enti me ni o mo ya adwen at the moment obisamia de bia meka se me ni Rashid Pepo e ya adwen se o mo koye ni e wo mo se o mo nya bone de na mum abani e right say or reverse o appointment no because in the first place ebi mo ho a o mo qualify they are qualifying so no ain't just qualification no obi ti fear or qualify more than the FR no just because yanya announcement the writer yam friend crofo say o mo mra edwan say obi nim politician na ko she ho aside that Aban of Akuffo Aban was in power for 4 years from 2021 ebesi 2025 January no nana no net yakonya so the writer year 2016-17
okay
nana do nim say opportunity wo why I was of Akuffo 12,000 one fa wo in 2025 no or try my yet to abadwie and of Akuffo say no opportunity wo why aden one farmer wo in some point June March April July na afedia December ya to abawie e na wo ba be form adwuma
se omu nyina so omu Ghana fo ntia form aye mo nya adwuma
I agree o say Akuffo adwuma mo ka kire say aban ni sika access ni ba bia e kwan nam afa ye to abawie ya wodi wo makwa ko hye ba bia director according to nkoma Rashid Pepo DA any alien nkoma na NDC for ni bi kire say utimi kopie mo Bank of Ghana na ye di nipa be se 40 akogu room baako ye ho table se wo ni nkonya ho a o sa man 40 na ho me nipa 7
na se we say no na omo pese aban foforo na e ba no ho kire no
mo aban no ho be kire no because wo si wa create adwuma dia ma obi wo fa na adwuma I was say o man desk obetra ho ya adwuma o ko office ho a oni desk oni bibia obeye na wa ko sign no ko fie
se aban foforo na oba no mra ono so me ho adwuma
mo enu nti na aban no so say desk ni ho a obeye adwuma on shebe ni adwuma ya sign no tu say wo adwuma nie o na wo ye accountant da branie oni bibi sade a ko ne ko tena fie at the end of the day say you create new space no be battle with uncroft almost same qualification so qualifier they adwuma ne ba ma boni e wo me de doctor boni nim now back to employees no adwuma for na fa wo no what this is a lesson say uncroft bi e wo aban mu na omo be mo opportunity ka kire wo mo say omo mo opportunity papa na omo ma at the right time omo ntwen so omo kolu election wie na omo na dawo e ma won san kosi for it doesn't work anywhere but the message Rashid Pepo ni say at the moment enkrofo wo fie a omo pa adwuma ye no omo doso omo find ways and means na omo pa ba bi emfa nkrofo nkɔhye na omo nya adwuma nye
quick one yentumrika na yemo ne tew MPP mu yekoda sori bia no a yete se na me wo wekam se de me ko wekam ebi esi ona wo Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong MPP fuo bi na esie sana omo ona bo Kennedy camp na se de omo ko ba omia camp ensem ni si ya pe ena Ghana fuo bi wenya MPP fuo bi o
of course
eye Ghana fuo bi na abesi a chenso omo nso trese Dr. Mahmoud Baumia eye 0 mine enti MPP fuo de ne ba omo ba reject in 2028 quick one yenkotie mra ye kan nyina bom ye koba ye be ye ho adwuma
boy ya man anom na meja anom enyubiri ya ma wona adwo wajana yenwa doctor Cape Coast North ya sanema wakwa aba yana ye gina hey ya MPP fa ye timu wo Cape Coast North ye adwuma so ye adwuma zan na aya ja hey na ane wo Canada Japan ene young cannon, it's yes about to Abama. May do kunim na a catching kunim so as a man.
Lady, your friend Zolomai.
What is Zolomai?
Why is Zolomai?
I don't know Zolomai.
I am performing at Agyapong.
Now what to say?
Yes, I don't know yet.
Yada Yesu ase. Sawa hu.
Ya pesa lo mai. Zalo ya pesa.
Sawa hu.
Ya pesa lo mai.
Yanhwe. What say ompe hwan.
Ya pa ayi akai what is that? Ba umia ya pa.
Ada nampe ba.
Ya pesa lo mai ya pa.
Na bi ntina pe Kennedy Agyapong so.
Oni be bia nyuma ma ya mai sense na nyo ya ma na kwa yo nyina akọ wuwe. Wo be bia nyuma anya soja kunni adwuma. Adwuma bia ya adwuma. Ka de wo be tine me ade banche. Bo de we aye nyama bebre tie pe Kennedy.
Ya hwe, afutu be na wo de ma MPP for abatom kotu.
Abatu aye kotu. Ya se MPP for panifo. So mo kotu aba. Eji zalo ma ya wo bia kotu. Ejo kwa fe dia
Adusa. Aya yanhwe sese mu makoton awo race course dwom ha ne te sei. Ebrebe de dwana go.
Mahama be dia dia won.
Ada ya bi before de dwana kwa na. Wo nyina 50 cedi. Yento hu. Ne fra se mi aba.
Ya fra me mata asabre di
Oba mata asabre wo hu. Kukuabo ho. Ni mo ko na mo no ho. Bi abre wo me ko we. So to bu okura 2 weeks kura na say. So oba mata. Oba ja me ma ja.
Ai pa, me da wa say ya bi switcha. Ya si afeka ne. Ya pe Solomon. Wo mu ya let ko yi ba umi aba. Ya fu aba no.
Ya da so ho.
and say MPP dear Koswani. Na Amson no more honorable Kennedy camp.
Sure.
And I said, dear, Omako Dr. Mahmoud Baumia camp. And now, one more Mukasa Chenusue. If I said to former, only a can of war. 2028 no more Kwakotwaba.
Okay.
And almost say Baumia a 0 mine.
Okay.
Now, honorable Kennedy no more than a bar. MPP Betimia BB.
Okay.
Now, sir, MPP for your Mukojino say, one more honorable Kennedy camp. Omako Dr. Mahmoud Baumia camp.
Okay.
On your show, say, Omajika Crash Mutum.
Erata, Juma. Nkoma madinka bedi wa hadada na adwuma na no mahye na ayi we de ayi nam aso aba NPP started say omo san ba bayi omo flag bearer no ena amanfo bi apopo hu se e wo so nso omo didi etwa se nipa san kwan sa of course
omo bopo omo hu plan
nti at moment omo nim say Dr. Mahmoud Bamia desperate for power and this cross carpet every baby ba ne ho a obaba ajo so nti sadia Yanyina ye Dr. Mahmoud Bamia Akuffo nembom yen twan tro se ye honorable Kennedy Akuffo ye Bernard Champion Akuffo ye Addo Akuffo it is ye twan tro sa ne akohye kwa ye di te se de ye adwuma no enso ye nko campaign
abi
embrante we da be na hu omu video say omu se omu kwa abonte a omu kwa campaign e de ma honorable Kennedy Agyapong da be na hu omu wo video mu say they are campaigning for honorable Kennedy Agyapong but hu video bi asa enti omu kwetena se omu twen election e ben afeje trap no every time aduaba na bre yenkwati ni enti yen switch camp yemra abonte meka se the honorable Kennedy camp they said they are switching na Dr. Mahmoud Bamia camp
na aden susuntina da bia no obi firi honorable Kennedy Bernard Champion akoba omia aden tina da bia ba omia nko ana announcement baba bia no wo ko ba omia camp
director assembly na maka kire me say eye afidie no musum Dr. Mahmoud Bamia say o mo de bagis ka firi ho
na me nsumi unu se ba omia so no eye mfan se eye frakadam se oyesi anu atwa batu media no so na se minu no sa we mu ko Dr. Mahmoud Bamia camp but we den ye nia bie
director unim nti at the moment no say de okay say insemisha say e base ya voter oye undecided onye undecided be a auto na ba ko no more or less a twina adwen say okay the masses are moving to this side but that is their strategy
but this time and work is out politics na man for atiase o
na meba no it is washa omadwom say strategy no ebe twen krofo a omun decide e de oma ba that side but enei pedie hu ye in 2024 general election any dia omo ye post no the posters ne ka kire ne kire say sade ne twam right entimi nya adwuma biem because enei ye wo Ghanaians a omu siade ye wo nkrofo a omu ti internet so a day in day out they are educating people efie biem abusua biem obenya abrante na abaya ba ko a onim training kenkan a onim politics nim nti okofie a o kire niemam e wo fie kire na busuafo they understand say the humanity ko
na commander yen hwade womo so omo ko Dr. Mahmoud Bamia camp no omo ya MPP for MPP delegate ena womo so omo pe honorable Kennedy MPP for fa Kennedy mra na Bamia de oye 0 man omo so ya Ghana for enti these two people no difference nim MPP for aye wise ah
director unim
masam no what you say
point na difference e wo mni NPP delegate bia nei oye delegate to NPP mo no in the 2024 general election it is assumed say what aba ma NPP obi a oye delegate bia no oye NPP pani into what na aba ma NPP na mom dwomni ba no ebi a onye NPP ni obetima ye NDC ni NPP ni CPP ni PNC ni obetima ba say oni political party enti ono no ontimi nka say otona ba ma NPP ebi a wanto anko ho enti say ono ka kire o say this candidate and all penna meaning say a likely say on crophobia or to omaba ma MPP name sa candidate no o de ne ba omba to abama no name omo ka se nei omako Dr. Mahmoud Bamia camp no omo ka 38.2% no ho enti o twumni betene pe e de 38.2% no e ye wo mu a obi ameka ho enti Dr. Mahmoud Bamia nei so de ne kwa that 38.2 no eye wo mo na esan edi nkomo yi nto mo na obeto abama no ye to wia he's not getting more than 38% no
ena omo say o declare support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no omo kwa akoto aba ama omo say omo pe Kennedy no ena aba beto aba
of course
what you say
me tia say
we mu no delegates no kwa akoto aba
yeah
ena ama Ghana fo so aba be decide enti omo be decide 2028 ni say sa nipa we ye zero man na we nso say I we okoto internal voting
no of course
ono no so opesa nipa we ya sa nipa tu no me wo ha je na wo say me decide
right you see they are okay. It's up to MPP delegates. So say almost politics na say
yes
Ghana for na wa bonten almost say almost pe candidate na mo person mo present no nti e kire say when this candidate na akwa election a wo ye no be sorry o 38.2 no enya de bi ba be ka
o da bi se mai kwa do mo se zero
mo enti se wo betime anya bibi foforo dia you need to change your hand sisa wonsa but da bia me kase obi a oya ade a onye same negative results na obotoye sa ade na no oye jimifo eti se enneyi obekọ obi sidan edan na wo si no anwea ne cement ni nso dodo a odigum si a odi si ade be chobeba na abu agu no da bia no anode ade chi bia obeba na abu agu no onye nyansafo ojimi se onyunyansa obetena sa adwene se mame change mensa Number say there is no harm in trying. A toda bia. Uya bibi na nye ya. Dan won sane bibi fufo. Onyum tufo bi na bon wo say. Oba power na anya oda. Obrefo ba yeden. Sada na etire.
Okay.
Rebecca, e common sense. MPP delegates omo tiese say.
Okay.
Candidate no omo de ne ba ye no. Enye se bibi antie o. Election oba en ankoye.
Okay.
And so the gap between omo and NDC. It is better so be change wonsa. O change wonsa na o say lose a. Then you know say me ye wey anya ye. Me ye way anya ye enya die biem na menye but say ugina fa akode a the right sorry to say enya ye ta yeah
quick one yam fancy na fe no abigi J emrem abigi afanase ame mana kwaba abigi na bokọ de
na manyam yado me ho de papa
ora quick one yam ran semnim na bomoni aso be start free baby a command wie ye MPP fo bi say ai delegates honorable Kennedy camp ekoba Bawumia camp eno chi Ghana for so chese Bawumia zero mine. Omo mpe Bawumia yen starting free
na mama me ncha ahwefo
obachia
na sina mine biase da bia meka MPP delegate samo mo ko Bawumia ka mo nko na mbaba abato ya wo fom ha ya bato aba he yempe mama na sam na o kan se zero mine ayo nokure Bawumia ye zero mine so nya zero mine ko the MPP te power yen kan nokure nchira MPP fo ne den we omama kwagina he nipa 3 ya ko Bawumia kampu no oma kwagije 11 cd
samu
ye nokure o ka se na nsam ka kire se emre ko nkofo be Bawumia ba ko man nkofo sika
nokure
mumla matamachi mumba munka se me omo Africa and Agyapong kam na waba oma Bawumia kam enyansa sambi enim we o MPP na o so pass break winning age na ko to abama Bawumia te say de we ko to ball to agu yes hwa o tie asem me san kan biem o pese MPP 2028 o wini a o to maka na Japan wa wini o ko to abama Bawumia te say de we ko to ball to agu e for so bien ni so me ba ma example 2024 ho na MPP leader
24 Bawumia Ori. The arena brand nekeko. Owi brutal. Na MPP 2024 na MPP ekuta MPs 137 enenya ba ko bi account na 138. Yeto abawi ye no. MPP lose MPs 51. 50 ayo wako da bisita sa abanya wate akonya yo record so
abanya wate akonya
na de data ba
asia ma ayo no ko ba bia duru o se ya kana kora kira MPP
na ya ukonyinya data
oh na say na me
wana o se tu data yenkwai
na say o ka say yenkwai de
yenkwai
na anya no kora
no why
anya no kora
to so
na say MPP kuta say
87
uti 138 free makase
me tia free mo ha uza me ma se me nya de
sa 38 na uti And 51. 51 more. And a free MPP.
138.
Now,
what if you want?
I must say, I know.
That's how we are there. See, but we are 87 plus 51.
51.
I say.
I know 87. I know 138.
Oh, I'll be here. There's
138.
The kind of penalty.
What can I say?
Oh, and then the majority. We are there.
I say, well, no, I have. I now one intra. We are delegate. Now, so Jenny, Edinum Pine. Obia on one person. MPC 58 na film. Our MPP, and this your MPP. Ya boaji. Akonyano asaju MPC na. Still, what does it actually? Sikana waliano abasan. Sikano omofano abasan. And the motion as I say. MPP na open here. Me wine. Kotu wine. So, MPP as a position there, and then got a tray, made a phone, ya can't break. Okay, don't fall, man. I must say, 2023. But never don't come out 100 cities. Nobody, to about you. Don't fall by no more. Say, I didn't think the young fucking Agyapong ban yet me. And then don't be almost no can Agyapong no vote. Young press 0 mind. I don't form man account. Ha! Now we are delegate tear don't form man. Almost your 0 mind. Now MPPT acquaintance 8 years. Almost the whole gun or may be near Kotoapa. Number Nanaro send you double young and lead MPP. Yet to Abania no worry, only 0 mind. What to Abano? Nani pa 2016 near see Mahama on Yadi. Ghana for to say Mahama Yadi near to Abatia MPP. A number unyanti. What does it be a chile? Nanya Obia, the common one city. And I bet I African ya. May there be a meka. Pass your phobia to be free. Onyansa ni be African in Japan come. And Cobom Yakam. Abig say, Missing answer ni be African in Japan. Come and cover the camp with that. None of a crow on Jenny. The Omoa, MPP delegates you are no Jimmy. And Yansa home. Serious. Me and my papa. Me, Debbie Meka. Say what Nancy? Now during the old person of one on mine. Also, we say, Panino or your bad time. Yeah, but never catch it like Abatana TV station say. What be a damn slim? A better than your dam. Now, say about never catch it again, sir. Near me to minimum MPM mobile money. MPM your company. But we say on your poor and call for more so for 80 something and call for your mobile money. And call for who say about your for Nippon mobile money. And the sign you away. Now, so you're by Jumba. Now, so Kotoba man, I dare you know. But look at that say, or $1 no tomb, no the other IGP. You hear enough dollar, chibu, no money. But look at that say, Gano, young Yahweh, I do not care him say, yes, I'm Lumay Juma. Not by President Kojana for Jim Mike. Messi toilet, Mamma. Ghana for Messi. Ah! I thought the Casa Musa, small boy. What can I say? Madonna for Messi toilet, Mamma. I have some my now, what did you have money? Now, you didn't money. Come there, some no go. What did you have money? Now, come there, the do can I mean you so? Messi toilet, Mamma. Ghana for me, Messi toilet, Mamma. That be Messi. But me, I can say, what did you have money? And yes, sir. What did you have money? And yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love you. Sabe. Ghana for say, come there. We see toilet. And the Bernard, Nibbana can say, Nansen, you woman. I did not. Wow, that can't one Casacan meet you. A freezer when you never drew her. What's a vice president by Mama, you vice by Nanago, 4 vice, my Wafata vice, Mahama vice. Also, what could I say, Miko see toilet among mine. Oh, Mimi Akuffo, Mimi Wafata. Mahama. ni na mi hu
okura de jeje kro so hu no
o mi hu kakra
ko wanyini
mi hu kakra na nyamo wati ase sankofo ni nyina obi enu ha ne vice kwadra se mesi toilet di enim se ayo oman a ayo assemblyman adwuma assemblyman ne was oye sade na vice president still toilet na o share bono wantimi asi toilet toilet na o share enti wenye adwea nipa we so kwota sala asem kwoto abamowe go esa wo so ye aim
okay
uni vision
okay
sina mama menka we wase menka Ghana fo bi say menka ntre NPP delegates say biasi na manyo obi ani yire nye Ghana ni ono oye fulani ni obu Ghana fo dan agu menya
ja infro
mama
sawe Ghana enyefe
Ghana fo na
enyefe ba ko ba ma krase okodi president ewo US nti enye
mama mama
why
okay yan
adia
inye mana meka mo Ghana fo ni se
enkabi why
ase we
ena me chose Barack Obama kra no kodi president ewo America
so wan ko bu obi dan yan that only
na uko America
dabiti sadan wanye fasting okotena konyanso wanye fasting akobu obi dan enkremo mena say so we fasting
ye mu obi dan
ye mu obi dan ye nye bone
ta
sa ni poeti be akotena sa ye bone sa bone na cheso ni timo osu papa
yate
yan kan okre sinama
yan traba mo why yan tuma mo yan ko ne story yan fine na to shi so blast ba o mi an
oh na say no kre
o se Akuffo de ne ba so me manage economy ba to antimi
aye no kre
ade na o se ne yan ko to aba man
aye no kre na atasi nyame abie na adwene nyame mana aba nkwan na atoti meboa wa ba nkwagim first no wo bonim wa ba nkwagim
oh
hwe ye ke no kre hey ya ka obi ntia se onye so obi ka obi o na lo se me ya lawyer me nye economy master me nti me fa economy ne ma ne mo o ma he no me ko fa de obo economy no wa ba bo ma me mamu ekoso me mamu agina pim because sa 2016 ne se NDC mamu nye atete aye pansan enti yakofa onyansani a obetima bo ma o mamu ne ekoso economy na agina so ono ne bawunya na no ko ha no Akuffo bawunya ba economy no kura atete aye pasa oh agise wo me see wo nka no kure nyame ba twaka ye nka no kure bawunya oh me see wa bom onimpe wa hana nadu wa sena nadu record wa mana nadu Akuffo na nadu de asamo ka kire Ghana fo say me mesi mama ko school ampa amafo ba ko school eso economy na ba nya so onim no na nadu ko fa ne ba wa feli o economy na asay ya tantan we musi yansan koto aba no me Ghana mampene aba Ghana fo man nya say nkurasefo ye nye nkurasefo kanena na ye wo sum ye ba han mo enti usa obi a yesi o me economy no want me economy no eso usi yansan koto aba no me president ekomba kumu bonya komba kumu obama ne ma ye basa mi de bia ha do duro bia mi fa brem ne ma na do hwe bonya ka kire aka o se aka ba 3 days e koto aba yi na do potu mo ni mu hwe ne cheso ahana enye no wa bua duguna na ro so aso wo sei ye papa nyina bonya wo se wo na wo ye na me person bisa se Ghana economy no wasa ba mu akojira ba bia yi economy anoda as a first no NDC abai otu kosim mako 75 adema NDC ni pada no economy no so you on mayina no asubonyan economy me se mama na miensa dollar so ba chi dollar onyira no so ba magana hoto aba on mayina no me de me mana miensa otimi adakura o chi dollar no
okay
I said the same dollar na NDC ababa ya ma dollar kofu ana me bo
yeah
enti ba unya na chese nipa o economy sie ya or a wise man chamber.
But now to show honorable Kennedy fans.
Oh,
was you young one this for Abaso? Oh, I am German for say I'm Pastor Honorable Kennedy or the onion if I can say
and to me, many and this if I come. Many and this if I come. Now send me bomb Abaso. Now send me the campaign man. Now, what I'm so young this in David. Whoa, I just said the word to me. Here somewhere. When you answer beyond or mine cost or how much. O mane ko
ya de ti se me se mi obi ni ma bia ko
that do
me ya no me kase ba manfo ni me se me wo ha ba me ni ba bia
me wo MPP platform
o che wo na wo so wo MPP ni
ti me wo MPP platform o mu di ma te se me yes
da
me nya hankwa na me dia ba
ba dia sa o sikasa nti
oh na re na Mahama me horo ne sa me se
ba so na se wo na ba so pa
oh na se ade wo yi aye
da
na na do pes amu saki ye kuduru 1.7 200 me kotra ye bekasa me MPP ni nti ye de bechem anti ane amu aba 65 no wo kotra ye bekasa wo ye NDC ni nti na na do na kotu na ye ba koto 200 say the same level na abato anti anti na ne ma afa kama me ye nya atun ye nyina ya ye hwe ye hoyi obi so ye kremoni obi so kwasole obi so se osumnya na namosomu bi aso no kura da so se nka no kura no ye nka me je bi me ka eni si aban ye otisu se duru ba bi ne enema nya me batna ho me mfa nchaw me ka na ye eni si nudi batama wa na adi batama enti ane ame ade pa koso no a me bo eni si abaso no se duru ba bi na ni ma chia na me ka hwane wa ma di matama me sana me mfa so we me on man no e first
okay Rashid Papo ori atudwa sana na do dan ko Akuffo Efra ban mu no ehon no oba be fa nipa be adwefo be 12,000 ebi ni qualification ensem bebre quick one nwura hwe
tinama emana nyanwanwa aye sana na na tie tie ye be me kase na na ebetua Ghana foka because or present no obedi mampani okota time the last time no okoye na I was a Ghana for ye no bone anti obama ye atua yaka no na do de man tie ka abanya wa so wunim se wo mlan se wo sasa abaya wa wina konya no wonti mi fa nkofo mu ayede na afa gu na chese na nalu ni timo anye wonwo anye Ghana fo nko na watu yaka wo aye MPP abayan MPP fo nka so wodua fo nyaka tie na nalu die mimi da so mka mse wo pe Ghana president aba ni timo de paye na nalu na nalu anye mo ma sa papa di akonya 6 months ono the same thing suba say ya no odande okoka kanyen enene kagana abre Argentina unim se ewo mrase obi a on deserves ebia me teacher ni me krata ekuta me deserves ya ba fam teacher na na do wo fa sani po editum se Mahama ba bre obla na ye wat so wanya bia ka se na do Mahama nyaade eso ansi we ye dey you for the right thing say wo prepare na papa oba fa enye papa wo so yiwadi anti no man nkoso enkoso tie yen kanche MPP aban se anye anisi na mudi na bro aye Ghana fo na adia sanko fo e wo fo ebia no obi kra ye mess ni wo na wakofa nso kwachira adia abele no wo anti na do tie abro ni baye nti ena ne akobie Ghana se hwe ba bia na do di ope president abanyina obo bosen so ya nya bosen so ya hu tie bosen an koyi ekodi o ma chagu mo botum to mo solo no almost se Ghana fo agum ama Ghana fo hu se o mampani fufuro na ba ni timo ode oba wo yi o madia o mbaka se ono a so na nado na ade mu aburo nti wo tena se chakabusa se denti ena na nado ba 8 years no wandi nkan fa mangum no ba so no fa ogum
eni asem no
nti na nado de me de bia me ka me se pa nipa wo MPP man no hoye ma hiye me tan pa ye na nado we ha Ghana fo wa sadi MPP party na aburo nti me wa how bebre e koso nyina ye nanado ade e deserve say iwe aye we de nanado achinchim no de amawe ade ni kwase nanado fa no wa fa dia wa fa ade ento ba bia ni kwase oto nanado de cinema ya president ni timo de papa
okay abushari mo sie kwa be so ba bi mi akrai fo nyina